15, and we have 6 counting members. It's not enough to start the meeting that was supposed to start at 10 o'clock. Where are you? Somebody bring them up. And we're also going to lose somebody at 11:45, so being as how it's 10:15, we need to get the show on the road here. If we had one more, we could get the meeting going. Mr. Holden, Mr. Pacheco. Who's excused? Who's not excused? Pacheco's in the building. I saw him this morning. Mr. Ridley Thomas, Mr. Wax. Mr. Holden, Mr. Pacheco, Mr. Ridley Thomas, and Mr. Wax. I only need one of you, but I need one of you. If I had all of you, we could give the ordinances. If I had any of you, we could start the meeting. A book. What? No, but she's here. No, we already counted. Mr. Holden, Mr. Pacheco, Mr. Ridley Thomas, and Mr. Wax. Got two? They're here? All right. We got it. Not enough ordinances, but enough to start.
Check here. members present and a quorum, Madam President.
Thank you. All right, let's go through the agenda first and see if there's anything we need to...
The first item is approval of the minutes.
All right, without objection, the minutes are approved,
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
and those are also approved.
Item number 5 on the regular agenda, the applicant has consented to a continuance as well as CD 14 to continue this matter till September 19th.
All right, item 5 is continued to the 19th.
Item number 27, at the recommendation of the Bureau of Street Lighting and CD 3, this matter is continued to September 13th.
All right, 27 is continued till September 13th.
Item number 20 and 38, the Los Angeles Housing Department recommends that these be received and filed inasmuch as the property owners are in compliance.
All right, is there any objection to that? Open the roll on receiving and filing 20 and 38. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
All right, we have 12. Let's do the ordinances. Now let's go through the agenda. Go through the agenda.
Item number 6 is a commission appointment as the governmental efficiency report regarding the appointment of Carlos Alfaro to the Quality and Productivity Commission.
Mr. Alfaro, you want to come sit at the front table and just come up here and we'll see if anything happens. Mr. Fewer.
I'm pleased to move Mr. Alfaro's appointment.
Thank you. That was very concise. Ms. Chick?
And I to second. We have met, and I'm very much looking forward to his participation on the Quality and Productivity Commission and working with Government Efficiency Committee.
Anybody else? Open the roll. Whoops, Mr. Hernandez.
I just
Gotta
had
move fast.
I had a few seconds to chat with Mr. Alfaro before the meeting, and first he said he was in CD5, and I said, uh-oh, you might be in trouble because of the number of appointments out of CD5. Then he said he was from CD3, and I said, okay, I think CD3 qualifies you then. But again, I just wanted to welcome Mr. Alfaro to the Productivity Commission.
I just nominated.
Okay, anybody else? Now, open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
That's approved. Thank you very much. Welcome aboard. Be happy to have you and look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Next.
At the recommendation of Councilmember Wax, item number 31, continue that matter until October 11th.
All right, October 11th for item 31.
Items number 1 through 4 on the regular agenda are items which have been noticed for public hearing.
All right, we have cards on, we have a card on item 4. Mr. Bowman.
Yes, good morning, members of the council. I'm John Bowman, speaking on behalf of the property owner, George Benedict, in support of the proposed zone change and general plan amendment, which will allow the development of this three-acre parcel in Sylmar for use as an affordable senior housing project. The project will serve the public welfare and advance the goals of the city's general plan by providing a much-needed housing resource in the North San Fernando Valley, and we urge your affirmative vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That closes the public hearing on items 1 through 4. Members of the council. Open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
Those are all approved. Next item.
Items number 7 and 8 on the regular agenda are items for which public hearings have been held.
All right, items 7 and 8. Members of the council, any specials? Any amendments? Anything I need to know? Open the roll, close the roll. 7 special. Why don't you ask it now, and then we can take care of it?
Maybe the CLA's office could help me. It's just on Resolution 11 on the school facility fees. I just had one question on that.
Michael Karsh with the Legislative Analyst Office. Resolution 11 is by the City of Santa Clarita. It's very similar to a position that we took in May of this year, seeking to draw the school district into closer dialogue with cities on the location siting of new schools.
Okay. I'm interested in strengthening that relationship. Is there any amendment that we might want to add to this that would further strengthen that city district relationship in terms of school facilities, as in this city, like so many others, it's going to be one of the more critical issues of the 21st century.
Yes, we're seeking an amendment in conjunction with approval to require school district information sharing with the city where it's located, and clarification of the zoning exemption which is enjoyed by schools
And
currently.
is there this cap of $1.93 per square foot and 31 cents per square foot for commercial, is that cap likely to make it harder to develop, build schools in an area?
Well, the cap can be exceeded according to state law, and that's not being attacked by the resolution. It's simply to acknowledge that due to that cap, it's become very difficult to do all of the infrastructure that's needed for the new schools.
Okay.
And so we're, both the city of Santa Clarita and our amendments and our position are to seek better cooperation by the school district with the city
Okay.
in which they're
I'm not interested in putting another burden by cities on school districts and building facilities. They
No.
have enough already. So
That's
this
right.
really is to promote the city becoming involved in getting this done more quickly and more
Yes,
efficaciously.
Ms. Goldberg. Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you. That's all I want to know.
I kept on pressing my button, so I don't know why it's not functioning at all. But my understanding is that this particular legislation, for example, our school district has a much higher fee associated with development that they just went through a whole nexus study than Santa Clarita is. But what they're trying to do is give themselves the ability also to negotiate with developers the placing of schools and the funding of infrastructure costs for the placement of those schools. Because here, school districts have a cap that is by state legislature that they're trying to deal with, so that becomes prohibitive to the school district actually being able to develop a site. That's right. And what they're trying to do is give themselves some ability to also become part of those negotiating teams in regards to the siting of those schools and the development of that infrastructure. Okay.
Okay, are we ready to vote? Items 7 and 8. Open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 eyes.
Those are approved. Chair recognizes Mrs. Walters for an introduction.
Thank you, Madam President. Council members, we have another group of students, graduate students from Portugal. They're from the new University of Lisbon and the Porto University, University of Porto. Dr. Hans Scholhammer from the business school, from the Anderson Business School at UCLA, is escorting them. He is their professor and sponsor for their annual visit, and this is a different group each year. You probably recall them from years past. I'm going to ask Dr. Scholhammer if he would stand and introduce all of the students who are with you.
You know, Councilwoman, I basically know their names, but of course, Portuguese names sometimes are very long.
Okay, well, maybe we just ask them all to stand and be recognized. All right, and here were a couple over on the other side. Thank you so much for coming. We enjoy your presence. There's the presence of students from your schools each summer, and I hope that this will be a continuing tradition.
Thank you, Mrs. Walters. Next item.
Items number 9 through 22 on the regular agenda are items for which public hearings have not been held. Item number 20 has been acted on, and number 21 requires a motion inasmuch as two are on one file.
All right, I have no cards on any of these. Is there anybody in the audience wishing to speak on any of those items? Seeing none, the public hearings are closed. Members of the council, any specials? Items 9 through
22 with the
9
exception
through
of 20,
22 with the exception of 20.
and 21 requires a
Oh,
motion.
yeah, I know. We'll get to that in a second. All right, there being no specials, we need a motion on item 21. Mr. Fewer? We lost Mr. Fewer. I think it's B that we want. Ah, there's Mr. Fewer. 21?
Yeah, I think the answer to that is yes. Yes. I need to confirm, I don't know the answer to the question.
All right, let's hold 21 and vote on the others. You guys go figure.
The difference is that the funding approved is for 9 months rather than the balance.
All right, 21, all right, open the roll on 9 through 22 with 21 is 21B, with the exception of 20, which we already acted on. Open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Those are approved. Very good, we did all those ordinances. Well, we got more to go. Go ahead, next item.
Items number 24 through 26 on the regular agenda, or excuse me, on continuation agenda number 1 are items for which public hearings have been noticed.
All right.
24 through 26.
Wait a minute, that's on a different chart here, hold on. Yes. Second continuation agenda. All right, say again, 20,
24, 25, and 26.
okay, items 24, 25, and 26. I thought we just did, no, you're right, we didn't. Any specials on those? All right, open the roll on 24, 25, and 26. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Those are approved. Okay, next.
Items number 28 through 31 on continuation agenda number 1 are items for which public hearings have been held.
All right, now we've deferred
We
31
deferred 31, so it's 28
October
through
11th.
30.
We're going to continue item 31 till
Yes.
October 11th.
Yes, we've done that. So 28, 29, and 30, members of the council, open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Those are also approved. Forthwith on 9. Next. You're not used to us moving this fast. huh?
No. Items number 32 through 54 on continuation agenda number 1 are items for which public hearings have not been held.
All right, we
Number
have-
38 has been acted on.
We have cards on item 39, so we'll call that special. Are there any other specials? 47, Mr. Wax. Any other specials? 32 through, sorry, I lost the end number again.
32 through 54, with the exception of 38 and 39 now.
All right, and 47 was going to be specials. All right, we have that. Anybody else? Okay, open the roll on all of those except the exceptions. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Staggering, absolutely staggering. Okay.
Items number 55 and 56 on continuation agenda number 2 are items noticed for public hearing.
All right, we have no cards. Is there anybody who wants to be heard on those? Seeing none, council members, 55 and 56. Open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Amazing, those are approved.
Items number 57 through
Forthwith on 55. 57,
57 through 59 on the continuation agenda number 2 are items for which public hearings have been held.
all right, any specials? 59, Mrs. Chick. Mr. Holden, you're here now. Mr. Holden is here, calls 57 special. Okay, that leaves 58. Open the roll on 58. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
That's approved. Next.
Items number 60 through 63 on continuation agenda number 2 are items for which public hearings have not been held.
All right, we don't have any cards on those either. Is there anybody who wants to be heard on those? Seeing none, the public hearing's closed. Matters before us, any specials? Open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Those are approved. Okay, now,
That brings you back to item number 21, or excuse me, item number 39. Called special, it's a card.
39, yes, we have cards, all right. On item 39, I have 3 people who wish to be heard. We'll hear first from Mr. Tonya, then Mr. Eberly, and then Ollie McCauley. Good morning.
Council, my name is Michael Tanya. I'm here on behalf of the Schaefer family. They own the property that is subject to item 39, 621 South Union Avenue. It's proposed to be included in the REAP program. The work at that property is complete. Everything that was listed on the original REAP list, according to the contractors who have spoken to me by telephone, is now complete. The inspectors have worked off of different lists at different times as they've added agenda items to their own inspection.
You may want to pull the mic up closer to you. We're sort of,
Certainly.
you're kind of going in and out. Go ahead.
The inspectors have worked off of different lists as they've added deficiencies with subsequent inspections in this property. The simple fact is that the original REAP notice of compliance has been completed. All the work has been done. The heaters were the last thing to be done, and they've been completed. So we have contractor Mr. Chuck Eberly here with us today to confirm that for you. We also have Ollie McCauley of the Community Partnership Redevelopment Corporation. This corporation is buying the property so it can gut it, in spite of those repairs, gut it and build senior housing with HUD money. Despite that plan, the Schaefers have gone ahead and improved this property at great expense. That work is done. We've appealed to the inspectors to make a new inspection based on the old list, but they said their policies in their division do not permit a new inspection off an old list, only a new list. For that reason, we're trying to get it across somehow that the work is completed. Any way we can do that, we will.
All right, well, Mr. Eberly, do you want to talk now, or do you want to wait and, why don't you just go ahead and say what you have to, well, actually, why don't you let Ollie McCauley talk first, and then you can respond to that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I represent Community Partnership Development Corporation, and we are buying the building. We have been given a federal grant for $4.5 million to purchase this building, to gut it, and redo it for senior housing. These are 811 funds from HUD, and we just now received our relocation plan to relocate the current tenants of the building, and there are 66, I believe, tenants, and the amount of money that we have been informed to be spent on this is roughly $603,000. We are in escrow to buy the building. We were waiting on that particular report and also approval of our plans from the federal government as well as the city.
Okay, thank you. So from your point of view, you don't really care whether it's in REAP or not?
Well, from our point of view, if it's in REAP, everything that's done, we're going to gut it.
Well, I know that's what he said, but, okay. All right, Mr. Eberly.
I'd like to point out, I'm with the Eberly Company. I was hired by the owners of the property to help to alleviate this problem that they were having. I'd like to point out to the council that this project would have been completed a long time ago had they not been in escrow already with this company in order to go through the process, because they didn't want to go through the process of doing all this work in a building that was going to be totally gutted and rehabilitated. But since the time has gone so far on the escrow, it came to a point where the work had to be done. I'm here today to tell you, under the first inspection report we received, which is the REAP, this REAP is in, has been completed. And all the work has been completed under the first report. So.
All right, thank you very much. That closes the public hearing. Mr. Hernandez, I believe this one is your district.
Members of the council, I think the council president asked the right question, and it doesn't really matter if it goes into REAP. What I want to point out to everybody on this particular case is that it's been going on for 2 years. There was 2 winters without heaters. The excuse being that HUD was going to purchase the building. On August 10th, my staff contacted HUD. We spoke to Joe Hirsch, and they basically said there is an agreement there to basically provide funding for the purchase of the building, but the owner wasn't allowing their inspectors to go in and start doing the relocation because of the work that was happening. And so HUD felt that a good part of the delay was more of the actions taken by the owner. My whole point right now is the reason we put it into REAP is because tenants were living there in uninhabitable conditions, and repairs were supposed to be made. 2 years have elapsed. The Housing Department's recommending that it go into REAP. My staff has done inspections, is recommending it goes into REAP. And I don't think it matters if it goes into REAP whether HUD will purchase the building or not. What will happen is hopefully the repairs will get done sooner. The fact that it's going to be gutted isn't an excuse for allowing people to live in those conditions. And that's what's happened over the last 2 years as we've continued this matter. And so I just ask that we put it into REAP and let's just get it over with so that they can finish their work and the nonprofit can actually do its work.
Mr. Burnson.
I need to ask a question. Whatever happened to our ordinance which was passed that provided for when vital things such as heat were not done, that were not done within a certain period of time, the city would take care of it, would have a contractor go out and do it and lien the property? Whatever happened to that?
We'd have to have housing answer that question. I don't have that answer.
You know, that's one of the things, nobody likes to interfere with property owners, but there are certain things that are responsibilities when you have property and rental property that you have to provide. And that is the reason that I think Jackie and I authored this particular legislation, to provide for the real bad guys that don't want to do the right thing, so that tenants don't have to suffer without water, without heat, and at times when they're needed it. And I'd like to know what the heck is going on with our Building and Safety Department, why these things aren't being, why this ordinance isn't being enforced. Can somebody answer that question?
Here comes housing. Excuse me.
Morning. My name is Shari Dihimi. I'm the manager of the REAP program. And Councilman, your ordinance is well in effect. In fact, it has a 98% success rate. And it's directed to life-threatening, imminent type situations.
Well, when people don't have heat in the wintertime, isn't that a situation that is threatening?
Right. The ordinance basically indicates that if the owner initiates the repairs and provides a plan in order to get the work done, then the city basically doesn't go on the property and make the
No,
repair.
that's not what the ordinance says. The ordinance says that if it isn't done, we give them a notice, and if it isn't done within a certain period of time, the work accomplished, then we're supposed to do it. And if Building and Safety is not enforcing that, I want to know why. And Mike and all of us that have housing that falls in these conditions, we need to make sure that Building and Safety does their job, and this is enforced. This is not happening. This is 2 years. I heard you say there were 2 winters when they didn't have heat. Don't tell me that the ordinance is being enforced. I don't believe it.
Ms. Goldberg.
Does housing recommend this go into REAP at this time?
Yes, that's correct.
Ms. Goldberg?
Well, I was just going to say that I think that we are trying to work on just exactly where the glitches are in all of this and the reports that we asked the various departments to bring to HCNR yesterday. We passed a motion yesterday giving a timeline, and this is one of the issues, and we will be looking at all of it, the systematic code enforcement, REAP, all of the various things that we've done, because part of what you do after you pass legislation is you have to make sure that the various pieces have the necessary staff and the necessary guidelines, and we do not yet have guidelines. And that's the problem, Mr. Burnson, is that without a list of guidelines that says under this situation this happens, and that's what we're working on right now with both departments, is to see to it that there are specific guidelines so that we don't have someone making a judgment call, in our opinion, that you and I would say this was a no-brainer, we want to get this all
I don't know why Building and Safety couldn't have established that set of criteria. They certainly have had enough time to do it.
I appreciate your views. We agree with you entirely. And that's what we're trying to do, is to make sure that this now gets all done and everybody agrees as to what those rules are and how they will be enforced.
I guess the one question that I think we ought to get clarified before we vote on this is the Housing Department clearly is recommending that this should go into REAP. Mr. Hernandez is recommending it. The owners and the contractors saying they've done the work, which would presumably qualify them, if it's done, to get back out of REAP. So let's just qualify before we vote. let's clarify for them what they have to do if we vote to put this into REAP, and then they come in and show you all this stuff, then what's the procedure for getting back out of REAP?
Okay. In fact, behind me is the inspector that actually cited the building, and his report indicates that only 68% of the work has been completed. We are willing to go out and make an inspection if the owner indicates that the work is complete, and we can get sign-off.
Well, they have just testified that the work is complete, and obviously you haven't been out to check. So let me just make sure I understand this, that they show you the documentation, you'll send somebody out, and then you'll come back and recommend if you agree.
Madam President,
Yes.
if I may, my staff goes out to check these locations themselves.
No, I'm not disputing
No,
whether
no,
it's
no.
done or
And
not. I'm
my
just saying,
staff has reported to me that the work has not been completed.
I'm perfectly willing to vote for this. I
yeah.
just want them to know what they're supposed to do to get back out.
And I think that we're playing a game here, because what happens is they're saying there's a first list that they had to make repairs, and then there's a second list. Part of the problem was the heaters, and it took time to get them to do that. My point is, we have given them 2 years' worth of extension.
No, Mike, I'm really
Yeah.
not arguing with you, and I'm going to support your motion, but what I just wanted to make sure is whatever the list is, any property owner whose property is in REAP has a procedure available to get back out. And that's all I wanted to clarify.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. There is a procedure, and the owner can call the housing department for a final inspection. We can go out and inspect, and if it's signed off, it'll be recommended for
Then
removal.
you come back in and
That's
initiate.
correct.
Okay, so that's what we need to clarify. All right, anybody else?
And I might add that they could also call my office, and we'll make sure they go out there to do that, because we are interested in the nonprofit also and closing of HUD. We want this habitable housing to be there for the market.
Okay, open the roll on item 39. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
All right, that's approved. Next item,
It's item number 47,
where'd all those other ones come from?
called special by Councilmember Wax.
Oh, the closed session. No, I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out where all those 23s came from. Okay, Mr. Wax, 47.
Tell us why we need to have an outside lawyer for this? They've been handling this case for years. Inside, how come now there's an outside lawyer coming in?
All right, let's find out. Ms. Weinberg?
In fact, there's been more than one case involving this plaintiff, and it's been going on probably for 8 years, at least. No, before that, probably 10 years, and the city attorney has been handling this on and off over the years. Why all of a sudden now do they need to bring in some outside lawyer?
All right, let's see if we can get an answer to that. Do we have a...
And what conflict exists now that hasn't existed for all of the years you've been defending yourself against
there you
lawsuits?
were hiding behind the post. Wait, your mic's not on. All right, we got him?
I'm accompanied by Blythe Smith, who's the trial lawyer in this matter. The answer to this is that this law firm was brought into, a private law firm was brought into this action in October of 1998 before the creation of the police division. It's a matter involving 17 defendants. It's brought by, the plaintiffs are represented by 5 law firms. It requires an immense amount of work.
Wait a minute, but this is not the first case Mr. Grobson has brought against the city of Los Angeles. We have been defending his lawsuits for years.
That's correct. I don't understand why you now can't continue to defend it. The reason is the motion does not request new counsel. The motion simply substitutes in a new firm because the counsel...
You're begging the question, why do you need outside attorneys? Why don't you continue, as you have for all these years, to defend the city in these lawsuits?
Okay. These outside attorneys have been representing city defendants since October 1998. Okay, that's first. The only thing that's changed, and the only reason for the motion, is that these lawyers who have been actively involved in this litigation since October 1998 have changed law firms. And in order to continue to pay them, as we have since
I
October
didn't even know
1998...
that they had been brought in then, but the question remains, why do you need outside attorneys on a case that for many, many years you did on your own?
Okay,
including the settlement of the entire first case?
During my tenure with the city...
No, this
since
is before your tenure even, I think.
Okay.
Oh, when, I don't know. Before you were the head of the police division.
Since my tenure, this law firm has been involved. They've been absolutely necessary. This is a huge...
Since when?
Well, the police division was started in January '99.
Okay, I am saying that throughout almost the entire decade, Mr. Groveson has brought more than, this is not the first suit he has brought, and that the city has defended and settled certainly the first set of lawsuits and represented, it didn't have outside help for a long time. And the nature of the cases is really the same.
The nature of the case is quite different. It's a much more complex case, and hopefully we are providing a suitable defense for the city.
I can't believe that the city attorney's office can't do this job. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Under current staffing, we cannot, and we need...
You're saying you can't do it because you don't have staff, and this on here says it's a conflict.
No, it is not a conflict.
Well, that's what it says right here. May I read it?
That's an error. This is
subject
not...
to the procedures applies to conflict matters.
Yeah, this is not a conflict counsel. This is
So you're just simply saying you don't have enough staff?
Not enough staff to provide defense for this case.
I simply can't agree with that. I'm going to vote no.
Mr. Holden?
Did I hear you say you don't have enough staff?
This case has been...
Did I hear you say that?
You may have, and I think there's a context. Yeah.
I just want you to repeat it.
Okay. For this case has been staffed...
I'm not asking about this case. I'm just saying the answer. You said you didn't have enough staff.
Is this a trick question? For the for the preparation of this defense of this case, we lack the staff.
You lack the staff
for this case.
Well, I've trusted you up to now. I mean, I think your word is good, and I don't think you would come before the city council and give them any misinformation. You know, politicians would do that, but I just don't think anybody working for the city attorney's office would do that. And so, and you're not a politician, otherwise you'd have really slammed him a long time ago. But so, I mean, I trust your judgment. We have a good chance to win this case, you think?
Well, if we're going to discuss the merits, we should go to close session.
I just asked you, you know.
I don't want to offer an opinion in open session.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're being a lawyer now. I don't know how I feel about that. All right, I'll go with you.
Mr. Hernandez?
It's one thing reading it as it's posted on the agenda. It's another thing reading the actual motion. And my understanding on the actual motion, it says that Richard Terzian and Stephen Fowler,
yeah,
were the attorneys on the case originally. Is that correct?
Since October of 1998.
Since October of 1998.
Right.
And then they changed firms.
Very recently.
Very recently. Because they changed firms, now we're asking to contract with a new firm.
That's exactly right.
But if they had not changed firms, we would still be asking for $50,000 for them to continue representing the city on the case.
I assume so. I didn't author the motion, but I assume that's necessary to be able to pay them.
I mean, that's what, there's an additional $50,000 being asked for. We're not really asking, we're asking to change firms because they changed firms, but the same attorneys would be continuing on the case.
That's exactly right.
I just wanted to kind of clear that up a little bit.
Okay, open the roll on item 47. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes, 1 no.
That's approved. Forthwith. Next item.
Item number 57, called special by Councilmember Holden.
Mr. Holden. We lost Mr. Holden. Okay, let's hold item 57. Let's do item 59.
Madam Chair, Madam President.
Mr. Pacheco.
Asked to move to reconsider item 28 has not come out of committee officially. We did not waive it out of committee, so asked for reconsideration sent to committee.
All right, is there any objection to reconsidering item number 28? About item 28? All right, sit tight. Mr. Holden has a question on item 28.
Ms. Pacheco.
Wait, I push the speaker button.
Do you have any knowledge regarding what being requested in item 28, et cetera?
No, I do not off the top of my head, and that's why I still need to hear it in committee. So
Have
we
you
haven't
been
heard.
informed at all? My staff didn't talk to you about it at all? It's just a matter of just substitution of funds. And the reason why I'm sure that they just waived it, somebody did, I didn't, is because we were dogged for about 3 weeks and they wanted to move the issue. But if you feel that you must look at it, then fine. But I wanted you to think about that before you decide to vote on it.
No, we should look at it only because it's probably the best thing to do at this time. And you're on the committee, and I'm sure you'll be persuasive in making us find the right
Once
conclusion.
again, I trust your judgment.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Goldberg.
A situation where both projects have already been approved. And what we're doing is one type of money can be used in the capital records situation, and the other type cannot be, the money that was available to Mr. Holden's project could not be used for that project. But the money that was available to the one in my district could be used. So we're simply just switching the sources of funding. There's no change in either project, and both projects have already been approved. However, unless someone tells me there's a time issue, I don't mind it going to committee. But that's all that's happening here. Both projects have had prior approval. There's no change in either project, but the source of funding as to what could be used for what is why there's this switch. But if that isn't sufficient, I don't have, unless someone says holding it up will make a difference, I don't care if it goes to committee.
And obviously, I cannot answer that question because I haven't heard it in committee, so maybe...
Can we leave this on the table until we find out if there is a time issue? There's
Right.
no time issue on my project, but there might be on Mr.
Right,
Holden's.
we could do that.
And I don't know
All right,
that.
so let's hold it on the desk. You guys go find that out, but you're going to
Okay.
have to hurry.
All right.
Because we only have a
Why
couple
don't
more
you-
items here.
Do you wish to take up numbers
Let's do
57?
57. Mr.
Okay.
Holden?
Madam President, Madam
Mr.
President.
Holden, you called item 57 special. Please push the speaker button.
That the staff, is you have a
Mike,
staff?
would you reach over and hit a speaker button?
Before I push my button, I just wondered if there's a staff here. Well, then let the staff report, and then I'll push my button when I begin to speak. What they're doing.
No, that's fine.
Okay, now I did that.
Morning, Gary Moore with the Bureau of Sanitation. This ordinance here will make us in compliance with the new requirements from the Regional Water Quality Control Board that 9 different designation types of projects will require either treatment or infiltration of 3/4 inch of rainwater.
My concern is that, of course, we know that the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System required by the federal government is not in effect. You've adopted a program that's called the Standard Urban Stormwater Mitigation Plan. And you're requiring, as a condition for the permit, that certain conditions be made by the developer that they indicate that he's in compliance with these standards that you've set forth in this plan or this book. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Now, my concern is this, and only one concern, is that the development best management practice handbook, which you talked about, adopted by the Board of Public Works, grant waivers for this new program requirement, collect funds from the project that are granted, etc. Now, when you grant the waivers, my concern is that, down the road, you could be granting waivers and making some mistakes, and the council will not be informed. I have no problem with what you're doing. In fact, I encourage you to proceed, except in those cases when you're granting waivers. Then I think that something in the ordinance should be written where the council is informed that you're granting a waiver, and then stating why the waiver is being granted from the standards that you've set forth in the plan. You have any objection to that?
Actually, we might have already taken care of that in that The Regional Water Quality Control Board allows us only 3 specific reasons to grant waivers.
What are they?
One is that there's extreme limitations of space for treatment. The second one is that the soil condition...
Extreme limitation for space?
That's correct.
Well, then that means they're permitted to contaminate.
I'm sorry, Councilman.
Then the developer then would be permitted to contaminate beyond the limits. If they're limited to space, and that's your judgment. They shouldn't develop if they can't keep it clean.
What we're saying is that they would have to do, there would be some minimal types of treatment that they would have to do, but the practicability of building some type of structure would not be feasible. This would have to do on like a redevelopment project.
Go ahead, next. Where's the other reason?
The second reason would be is that the soil condition does not allow infiltration, and the third reason would be that there would be a risk of groundwater contamination because of infiltration. Any other reasons, the developers will have to submit to the Regional Water Quality Control Board for approval. We're not allowed to grant waivers beyond those 3 conditions.
So would you have any objections to notifying the council when waivers are requested and granted?
We could incorporate it into some type of reporting mechanism.
Report. I think that's important for the council to know, at least for me, you know.
Madam President.
All right, Mr. Holden, your time's up, and Mr. Ridley Thomas, who chairs the
if you
committee,
wanted
would
to do
like
that,
to...
then I'll sit down and won't raise a million.
Yes, I think the Environmental Quality and Waste Management Committee did review this with some care and thoroughness. The suggestion or recommendation made by Mr. Holden is certainly a reasonable one, and we can cause that to happen. But I would urge the entirety of the council to vote affirmatively in this matter. This is an issue that speaks well to our environmental concerns, but not only that, it is one that does not negatively or adversely impact the general fund, and it causes development to happen. So it seems to me that this is a matter that causes 3 positives to take place, so there's no reason for it not to go forward unanimously, and the suggestion, recommendation by Mr. Holden is certainly acceptable, and I would so move. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Fuhr. No.
I was going to move the previous question.
Yeah, don't bother.
Don't bother.
All right, open the roll on item 57 as amended. Well, we can amend it, it's an ordinance.
Yes. However, the notification can take place as a matter of course. And
As a matter of
I would call-
policy, and we can
Precisely.
straighten it out in the
And
ordinance later, okay.
The department should be so instructed.
All right, so we'll adopt the ordinance and instruct the Bureau. Okay, open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
All right, that's approved and forthwith on that. We come then to item 59, called special by Ms. Chick.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I wanted to, first of all, take the opportunity to thank Planning Department staff for the incredible hard work and talent, in particular Jim Holmes, who led the effort for what is, colleagues, the first of others that will be coming forward in the city, and that is the community design overlay for Canoga Park. Canoga Park in my district has been experiencing a renovation, has been experiencing a renovation and a revitalization ever since the early hours after the earthquake. It has been renewing itself and tapping the energy of large numbers of residents and business owners and employees in the area. And the community very much partnered with the city in this effort and supported and welcomed this design overlay as, again, another tool that city government has brought to this community that they can use to improve themselves, to improve the look of the central business district, and to continue to attract vibrant business and to serve the community that surrounds it. And I would also tell you that I'm very proud at the diversity both in terms of types of stores, in terms of ethnic communities, and in terms of the range of people that have been involved in this successful effort. I look to your unanimous support of something that I hope comes also to communities in your district. Thank you.
Okay, open the roll on item 59. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
That's approved, and I assume you'd like forthwith on that as well.
In fact, Madam Chair, forthwith on 32 as well, please.
All right, forthwith on 32 as well. Now, did we resolve the issue with respect to item 28? We're going to let it go to committee? Is that what we're saying? Well, no, we have to hear from Mr. Pacheco whether it's okay with the chair. You guys got to decide this now because we're going to go into closed session. Actually, we're going to do public comment before we go into closed session.
Madam President, there's also two other items on the desk. City Attorney has recommended that item number 23B, a closed session item, be withdrawn from the agenda and referred to the City Attorney's office.
All right.
And item number
There's a problem with that,
23.
so that's withdrawn. And what's the other one?
23D, which is also a closed session item, requests that that matter be continued 1 week until September 13th.
Wait, I thought you said 23, the whole 23 be withdrawn?
No,
or
23B. There's
B as in
boy.
boy. Okay, 23B is withdrawn from the agenda.
And 23D, as in dog,
Yes.
is continued 1 week till September 13th.
Okay, so that leaves A,
That
C, and E.
leaves- Yes, and there's currently the motion by Mr. Pacheco to reconsider item 28.
I know, and they're wrestling that out. All right, so Mr. Pacheco, are you ready to tell me what you want to do here on 28?
We've talked about the matter, and we're okay with it going through as is.
All right, so then we don't need to reconsider.
Don't need to
All right,
reconsider.
All right, so we have not reconsidered. Okay, and that brings us, I believe, to the closed session, and before we go into closed session, we'll take public comment. I have two people who wish to be heard, Johnny Rotella and Sterling Kinbury. Mr. Rotella. And remember to leave time for Mr. Kinbury.
Good morning, Madam President and members of the City Council. I've been here before on the same topic, which is street cleaning, not street paving, street cleaning, keeping our streets clean, our cities clean, properties clean, sidewalks cleaned. And if you people have enough money to give $4 million to the DNC, I'm sure you can find ways of getting money to advance it to all your constituents here. Give more money to each city council person and keep our city clean. Now, where I live, I'm in the 5th District. I have to drive through dirty streets to get to my house. I happen to have a clean house, clean street, and there's no need for it. This is 2000, the year of 2000, and you need people on foot, like in New Jersey, where I'm from. They used to have street cleaners on foot with a barrel, and they would go in between, clean around streets, corners, etc., that the street sweeper does not do. So there needs some input from you people, and let's get LA clean. I mean, you could build the Staples, you can build all these buildings. It's all superfluous. Nothing happens. We want a clean area. Now, is that too much to ask? I came here before, and John Ferrara was sitting at your seat, Madam President, and he says, yes, we have to do it. Now, what does it take to do this? Go on our knees and beg? We pay taxes, and it's your job to fulfill your job.
Thank you.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much.
Mr. Kinbury.
I just want to wish Mr. Ferrero well and a speedy recovery, and hope I can see him here down there on the council soon. My hobby is riding the bus and the subway. Now, after 85, I couldn't work anymore, and time passes slow enough anyway, so get back down here, Mr. Ferrero. Be real glad to see you soon. Thank you.
I would like to second that. All right, that closes the public comment period, and we are now going to go into closed session on the three items left under number 23. So if you're not involved in those, please depart, and while we're doing that, while we're closing down here. Let's clear the desk.
Motions for posting and referral.
Those are posted and referred.
The desk is clear, except for item 23.
All right. That one was withdrawn and one was, there were two of them, B and D were taken off the agenda. Yes, probably. All right, Mr. Clerk.
Item number 23E, a closed session item, a recommendation by the city attorney to settle this matter for $300,000 in settlement.
All right, open the roll on the city attorney's recommendation, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes, 1 no.
Okay, that's approved. Forthwith on that. Okay, and I believe,
Request for a council member to be excused. Councilmember Padilla requests to be excused on Tuesday, September 12th for personal business. This meets policy.
in that case, we approve it. And
The desk is clear.
the desk is clear. Do we have any adjourning motions? We'll record you as a no vote. Have to pay close attention around here. Doesn't change the outcome. Mr. Fewer.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask the council adjourn in the memory of Alan Baker, who was the spouse of my assistant, Hildy Baker. Alan died suddenly at the age of 49 years old, and he was playing tennis, and just suddenly was unable to continue. He leaves his spouse, Hildy, and other family. But I will say that he was absolutely adored by Hildy in my office, friends who, many of us, a warm and wonderful person who is deeply missed.
Mr. Padilla.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, I request that we adjourn in memory of Nathaniel Escudero, who was a 22-month-old boy, resident of Sylmar, who passed away on August 29th during an automobile accident in Sylmar. November 21st of this year. It would have been his second birthday. Also request that we adjourn in memory of Mario Alberto Duarte Martinez, who was a 20-year-old young man, resident of Pacoima, who was violently shot and killed at a Jack in the Box in the city of San Fernando. He had recently graduated from high school, San Fernando High School, in 1999, was working as both a teacher's assistant at Cohasset Elementary in Van Nuys, as well as working part-time as a security guard at St. Joseph's Hospital. He was attending Mission College and was recently accepted to the Los Angeles Sheriff's Academy and was due to begin that training on January of 2001.
Call a roll. Thank you. We are adjourned.